It is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We have a very special guest, Andy Bunker, sitting in. He joins us today for Tenitra Batiste. She will be back. I know you guys started crying. I know you got all your tears out of the way, but she hasn't left us. She'll be back. So I want you to stick around because we are talking about the Atlanta Hawks. DeAndre Hunter signed a 4-year, $95 million deal, Bunk. And I think that when you think about the Hawks actually waiting till the absolute last minute to get this deal done, you know that, hey, there were some reports that, you know, they were kind of far apart as far as what that number would look like, but the Atlanta Hawks finally get the deal done. So, you know, does it change any expectations for you as far as for DeAndre Hunter, or does it stay the same?
That's a great way to think about it. I mean, even before the contract got announced last night, signed, whatever, DeAndre Hunter felt like the X factor for the season for me, because he feels like, you know what Trey is going to be at this point. Like Trey, right. He's going to give you a lot, and he's going to be very good as long as he's healthy.
Indeed.
You know what you're getting from Trey. And who knows? He's, you know, still a very young player, so he can get better. DeJounte Murray, of course, is the big story of the offseason, and everyone's excited to see what he looks like coming in as well. But I think even with that, there's kind of a baseline of what you expect from him. DeAndre Hunter, who knows? And the big question mark is health, of course. It has been his entire career so far. So even before we knew that he had a 4-year contract, his ability to be on the floor and impact what the Hawks did, to me, was one of the most important parts of this season. Maybe even the most important part, just because of the unknown. I mean, now you add $95 million to it. You hate to say that you have more expectations for someone because of the money that's attached to it, but you think about now they've signed these guys all together. Like, they're going all in on this group. Right. Trey, DeJounte, DeAndre, John Collins, Clint Capella, and some of the guys they have on the bench. That's your salary cap. That's your money. And if DeJounte plays well, he's going to get a contract extension as well, which is worth more than he's got now. So, you know, you're saying we believe in this core that we can win with them. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on all of them to go out there and prove them right. When I saw the report, when I saw what the number was, okay, 4 years, $95 million. If DeAndre Hunter is as good as he's shown in very small glimpses, as good as everyone thinks that he can be if he's healthy, we're going to be looking at this contract in 2 years thinking about what a great deal it was.
Yeah.
If DeAndre Hunter gets hurt, this contract could be a disaster. Like, to me, this contract either is the reason why the Hawks are like legitimate Eastern Conference contenders for the next couple of years because of how team-friendly this contract could be if he's great, or this could be the reason why Travis Schlenk and Nate McMillan are looking for jobs if this thing doesn't go well. Like, this, to me, this was an all-in type of, and again, I understand it's not a max deal or anything like that, but
right, yeah.
You're a guy who you still have that many question marks about $100 million is you're saying this is the group we're going to try to win with.
And I agree, because I think that, you know, I know for me, it doesn't necessarily really change the expectations. Like, I can't put expectations on whether or not he gets hurt. Like, it's kind of hard for me to do that because like you can't control that. You know what I mean? Like, but you can just work out as much as you possibly can and make sure you take care of your body and you're doing everything on that end, and then you just let the chips fall where they may. But I know one thing about DeAndre Hunter. When I saw him on that court, and that dude was a factor, especially in the playoffs when Miami Heat did everything they could to stop Trae Young, and nobody has really got an opportunity to do that. We saw it firsthand. And I wholeheartedly believe that that's the reason why they went out and got DeJounte Murray, because of that. So, you know what I mean? So those are some of the factors that when you bring DeJounte Murray into the equation, you get another ball handler, and then I just getting the chance to check out DeAndre Hunter in the preseason, he looks more comfortable handling the rock. And I think that when you have that, you add that to the equation, you push all the chips to the table, just like you said, and say, okay, we're betting on this guy being healthy. That's all this contract says to me. They're betting on him being healthy and being out on the court. And to be honest with you, all I would like for him, maybe like 65 games. That's the number for me. If he can play 65 games, I'm not even asking for 82. He can play 65 games and remain mostly healthy throughout the season. I think that the Hawks will be contenders, because when you think about the makeup of this team, it's hard for me not to get excited about this team. I've been trying to hold myself down because, as much as I try to be objective about this team, it's kind of hard not to get behind this team and be a fan of it, because you just look where they came from, just being at the bottom of the barrel in the Eastern Conference, and then you get a guy like Trae Young. You draft Luka Doncic first. Then you trade for Trae Young. You trade Luka Doncic for Trae Young, and then we're sitting here right now like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think that Luka Doncic is probably going to be the face of the NBA right now. They can't wait till a couple of years from now when LeBron leaves and all that stuff, but they're trying to do that right now. But you just kind of see like all the pressure that Trae has to deal with, on a nightly basis, because a lot of people try to tell, Trae, hey, he's not going to be that guy, but he's proven to be that dude. And for him to be able to come in and have a guy like Dre come in, I think it's going to be something interesting to watch once the season gets rolling tomorrow against the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say the number 65. I was talking about it earlier today, and we'd use the number 70. So we're right around the same.
Yeah.
You know what? And some of those could be rest days, whatever. Just give me 65, 70, and then healthy in the playoffs. That's what I need from DeAndre Hunter.
Yes.
And we'll call it a win, because we haven't gotten there at any point of his career so far. And I'm with you. Like, I've stopped trying to be objective about this basketball team, because I'm so in the bag for them. Like,
yeah, man,
I don't
same
know,
here.
They might disappoint. Who knows? So what? If they do, then you get disappointed. But like, I already loved most of the guys anyway. Then they went out and got DeJounte Murray, who from UW.
He's from around the way, so he's from the crib. So
yeah. And the head coach is Nate McMillan, who's Mr. Sonic. Like,
he's like Mr. Seattle. Yeah.
I'm just, like, I cannot talk objectively about. I just am gonna have a bias towards this basketball team. I also think that they have a chance to be really good as well. And I just think that the thing that is possible, and you and I have talked about this a lot back in the day. We talk about how a great, entertaining NBA basketball team in this city can dominate that time of year. Dominate the calendar from January until June. If you have a compelling product, you put something out there like kind of what they did a couple of years ago in the Eastern Conference team, but like more consistent than that. Like you put a team together that can be a perennial Eastern Conference threat for 5 to 7 years, 10 years, something like that. They're going to own this town from New Year's Day, when football season, whenever football season ends, until the middle of the summer. People are going to like you see it with the ratings for the NBA Finals in Atlanta every single year.
Yes,
people love the NBA in Atlanta. We just need a team, that sort of represents the city a little bit. And I think this group has a chance to really do that. So, man, I'm with you. I'm fired up. I think they got a chance to be really good. Their fun is sometimes a dismissive way to describe teams. Like, I think they can be good and fun at the same time. And if they are, they're gonna take this. They're gonna take over this city that time of year, and I think that they will.
No doubt about it. And I just want one last thing I kind of want to touch on. I got to bring up JC, right? John Collins. I got to bring him up. I have to bring up that dude, right? So here's the thing with John. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch is how Nate McMillan implements him into the offense, because I got like a peek into it, watching some of the preseason games and seeing how he's working the pick and roll with DeJounte and Trae. So I think that when having that extra ball handler in this equation for JC, I think that's going to do nothing but help kind of justify the money that he's going to be getting going forward. And I know you like to stay out of folks' pockets. I like to stay out of folks' pockets mostly when it comes to the contracts and play. I try to keep those things separate. But I think that JC probably may be bound to have a really good season this year as well.
No, I think so too. And I think DeAndre Hunter has a lot to do with that as well, because the thing that people have to get over with John Collins is if you're going to get paid that much money, you need to create your own shot. He's not going to create his own shot. Like, he's just not.
Nope.
Like John Collins is going to be reliant on the offense that's run around him, offensive rebounding to a certain extent, but the pick and roll and what the offense does for him. Well, now you got Trey and DeJounte, who are both guys that can do a lot for their teammates. DeAndre Hunter is going to be the guy who we now shift our focus to and say, all right, you got to create your own shot too. Like, they're going to get you the ball on the perimeter. You know, what's it look like when you put the ball on the ground? Can you create space? Can you get to the rim? You don't need that much. What's like, you got like a dribble step back. Like how are you creating your own offense if the play breaks down or whatever in the half court? John Collins is not going to do that kind of stuff. And I like what you're talking about too. Like with DeJounte as well, he can initiate the pick and roll. So now you've got John Collins and all the athleticism that he brings to the table with another guy that can play make for his teammates. I'm with you. I think John Collins is a huge beneficiary of the DeJounte addition, and then also if DeAndre Hunter can be on the floor too. It'll just be really fun. You got a bunch of versatile basketball players, and that's something that Travis Schlenk has tried to put on this team all along. I mean, when Bogey comes back, he'll be a part of it. Like, they've just had guys,
another guy
with the ball in their hands, and I agree with you. Like, last year was a bad year for John Collins. You know, he got all that money and then he was hurt and just didn't play good. So I think this year is really important for him.
Yes, indeed. And I think he's going to step up to the plate, because when you think about like what's been at stake and constantly being in all the trade rumors, and we don't even know if those still have died down. You know, we may or may not see that. I don't think so at this point, because I think that, you know, it's going to be vital for Nate McMillan, though, to kind of make sure that Trey is doing what he's supposed to do and getting everybody involved in his offense, because Trey is a guy that can get his whenever he get his. Yeah. John is going to be a guy that you're going to have to get him involved early so he can kind of get things moving and shaking with that offense early on. So, hey, he can kind of get into a nice flow. But speaking of nice flow, I know that, you know, I'm the type of guy, Bunk. I've been working out. I've been trying to get myself together. I've been losing some weight, man. But the thing about it is that it's helped me do that. I've gone to Built Bar, and I've been getting those cookie dough chunk puffs, man. When you think about you need a good pick me up, something that's going to help you out to get you through that workout. Cookie dough chunk puff is, you know, whether you need a snack for your workout, a late night treat, or just need to grab a quick bite. Built is the perfect protein bar, and they taste better than a candy bar. Dish the calories, fat, and sugar. Grab yourself a Built Bar, because it is 100% real chocolate, and you got all the joys of eating cookie dough without the hassle of making it. Plus, it's healthy for you. You know why it's healthy for you? Because it's only 160 calories. And we're talking about 15 grams of protein, because they always say that, you know, that you want to eat is the amount of grams of protein and that you want to get to your whatever weight you're trying to get to, right? So, you know, just say, for instance, I'm trying to get 300 pounds. So that means I need to eat 300 grams of protein. So guess what? I need to eat a lot of Built Bars in order to get to that point. So just trying to lose this weight, Buck. But you know what? Now that I told you why you need to go to Built Bar, I'm about to give you some incentive to go there. So go to BuiltBar.com. Go to Built.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDON15. You're going to get 15% off your order. Yes, you heard that correctly. So go to Built.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDON15. You're going to get 15% off. Go there right now. Go ahead and pull up on the best doggone workout bar energy booster in the country.